Hello everyone, this is Siemon, and I just recently played my first duels at 2000 Elo. Going into these duels, I wasn't quite sure how I'd perform at this level, but I knew I didn't want to go on a huge losing streak as I've done in the past after hitting my high Elo. That's why I did plenty of revision and practice before playing these duels. I played a lot of duels in this session, so I won't be showing every guess, but I'll show you some of the highlights. This first game here is an unranked game I played in preparation. You can see me laugh here because I was knocked down to 36 health, and I think you can probably guess what happens next. I get Northern Peru here, and to be honest, I should have lost on this round because on 36 health, you can't really just send, especially if it's a knowable road like this, which I soon realized after, so I definitely thought I was cooked here, but luckily my opponent ended up making a huge blunder here, and yeah, they sent India on Northern Peru. So nice win, but definitely too close, especially considering the fact that that road was gettable. But yeah, GG's. Alright, on to my first ranked duel. I think the main thing in this duel is I probably put too much pressure on myself, especially considering the fact that I spent a day and a half practicing for this. That definitely, I think, made me think not straight here. I thought northern Brazil right away with the cactus and dry climate. Then I looked at the sun, and it was east, but a little south, and that ended up really getting into my head here. I zoomed into Mexico. I thought it might be this southern stuff. At this point, I'm a bit nervous because I do think Brazil, and that's kind of 50-50 for me. And yeah, I ended up not getting that. And it was definitely a tough first guess for 2000, a bit demotivating. I did end up losing this game to another ones I probably should have got. But at this point, all I can think of is I need to reset and try and lock in and get back to 2K. So I actually did end up locking in here. I won the next two duels against a lower rated opponent, which put me 2 shy of 2K, which also set this duel up to be for my new high. I ended up playing the same opponent here. I guess when you're playing for Elo, it's better to get higher rated opponents so you can go up more Elo and not lose as much. But that being said, I still wanted to win this game, so I wouldn't go down a lot, and so I could get my new high. The game ended up coming down to this ruled gravel road, which luckily I got in Latvia and won, which was enough to put me to my new high Elo, which was definitely nice because after that first tough loss, I was able to win the next 3 and get back to my new high. As you can see, my next game was against the same opponent, and I was knocked down pretty fast to 1000, but I did make this nice Columbia guess to get a little comeback. Fortunately, I threw it all away in this round where I insta-sent Guatemala, even though if I were to look at the blur, it wouldn't have worked for right side driving. So small blunders like that, I just have to take more time zone rounds because I can't be making blunders like that. Luckily, I was able to win the next 2 duels. I was also able to beat Armani. I didn't really record it because I didn't know I would be going up 25 Elo, which brought me to my new high of 2008. In that game, I was able to make some pretty good guesses, including this nice region guess in Norway, definitely a bit of a baity round. I actually did end up winning on this round, which my first thought was Sabah, but I ended up going Indo, and I was lucky that he went South America, and I was able to get the win. My next duel here was against Salem. Luckily, despite him getting the first few multis, I was able to come back and knock him down to 48 here. You can see me put a crying emoji because I definitely didn't want to lose this game. Luckily, I was able to win this game in South Africa here. And yeah, that gave me 11 rating, which brought me to my new high of 2019. Unfortunately, the next game I was kind of multi-farmed and then made a few blunders in Canada, which ended up costing me the game. Kind of sucked, especially because this opponent was way lower than me, and I ended up going down 21 rating, which put me back into the 1900s. Luckily, against the same opponent here, on a pretty tricky round, I was able to lock in and get Thailand for the win. Again, fortunately, in the next game against the same opponent, I was able to win it in Eswatini. This was a pretty long, gritty game. I mean, round 12, I guess not that long, but still a pretty long game, so I was happy to win it. I ended up getting 11 rating from this, which brought me to my new high of 2021. My next opponent here was Jerome. I got a bit lucky this game because I was able to actually 2-round him. This last round, I have to be honest, it did look like a run, but luckily using driving direction and the sun, I was able to get an Amibia here. Here he's sending laughing and GG emojis, so that made me feel pretty good because I knew he had sent him on there, so we were able to pick up a nice 2-round win there. I've definitely made that mistake before, so it feels nice to actually get it right for once. Yeah, plus 19 got us a 2040, which was our new high at the time. This next game here, I knew I was one game away from 2050, so I definitely wanted to lock it and win it. I was able to get some good points in Brazil here, some good points in Indo, a few points in California, a few points in Spain, and finally this round I was able to use the white flowers to make a pretty decent region guess in Kenya, which ended up winning me the game. This game ended up giving me 18 rating, which brought me to my new high of 2058, which put me above 2050, which I was really happy about. Unfortunately, I did end up losing some pretty tough games here against Jerome. Definitely tough duels, but there were a few games in between there. But anyway, I was playing Gingy here. I was down to my last 300 health, and he was looking at a road North Norway, and I was in South, so I thought I was wrong, so I put GG in the chat. But luckily, I was right, and I was actually able to merchant him, which is pretty nice. Unfortunately, Gingy kind of elo farmed me, and I was only able to beat him 1 out of the 9 other times I played him. So that was a bit tough, but I did end up playing the Chinese guy twice, won 1, lost 1 in the end. So that brought my final elo to 1,956, and my top elo to 2,058. So overall good. I was able to improve my elo a lot. And just because I dropped down, there are some positives. These seasons, the last 2 seasons, I've gotten 38th, so that's my goal for this season. Hopefully every time I go down elo, I'll be able to use it to my advantage and get perfect sets going back up, which will hopefully land me in the top 38 for the season. If you've made it this far in the video, I appreciate your time, and this is just my second Geoguessr YouTube video ever, so I'd appreciate if you liked and subscribed. Thank you.